Okay, today we're going to talk about problem solving. There's a method in my class I call the problem solving method that is a very, very concrete method to use. I require from all my freshmen that they have to do each step of my 4-step process. Now, in the problem solving method, I do 4 steps. The first is what you have. This is where you actually look at the story problem, write down and label all the variables that are given in the story problem. You also have to write down any variables or constants that you might know. For example, if an object's falling, we have to keep gravity in mind. So that might be a thing where we put what we have. What do you need? This is where you write down and label the variables, okay, you're trying to find. So in the story problem, this is the question part of it. Now, it doesn't have to have a question mark, but this is what the story problem is asking. How far did the dog walk? How long it took for the monkey to swing from tree to tree? Okay? What is the acceleration of the car? This is what the story problem is actually asking, what we're trying to find. Next is the equation. In this step, you're actually trying to find the equations from the variables in step 1 and 2. So when you look at the variables in step 1 that were given, and what variable we're asking for in step 2, those variables combined will give you the equation. Now the equation, again, for some people that has to be memorization, but for my class, you don't have to memorize the variables. I give them, but you have to know what equation to use based upon the variables. And the last step, or I take that back. Before the last step, you might have to rearrange the equation. If step 2 is asking for velocity, then the equation that you have must be velocity equals something, like displacement over time. If the equation is not what we're trying to ask for in number 2, then we have to rearrange the equation. And I'll show that in another video, how to do that in a couple different ways. But let's say, okay, it's already arranged how we want it for step 3. Now we go to step 4, plug and chug. This is where we solve the equation. We plug in the values for the variables and solve. All right, let's look at the equation, or the story problem. A boy runs a distance of 10 meters in 5 seconds. What is his speed? All right, the first step again is, what do you have? This is where you have to break down the story problem bit by bit. A boy runs a distance of 10 meters. Right there is the first bit. Runs a distance of 10 meters. Don't read the whole story problem and get freaked out. A lot of students get freaked out. Just break it down bit by bit. A distance of 10 meters. So our first step, what we have a distance, which is the variable d, equals 10 meters. Now don't be confused. This is the variable. These are units. They just tell us what the number means. 10 meters. In 5 seconds. There's another variable. We have time. 5 seconds. Step 1 is done. That is what the story problem has given us. 10 meters and 5 seconds. So let's go on to step 2. What do you need? What's it asking? Look at the story problem. A boy runs a distance of 10 meters in 5 seconds. What is his speed? It's asking for speed. A lot of times in story problems, you can see what it's asking for by the question mark. Usually with words like what, how long, how far. Okay? What is the? Look for the words that show us what we're asking for. So in this case, what is his speed? So step 2, we know his speed. That's what we're looking for. So speed is a question mark. Okay, well, actually we don't know it. That's what we're looking for. Step 3, write down the equation. We want to find an equation that has all 3 variables d, t, and s. All right, and today the students learned the equation speed equals distance over time. Now it says again, rearrange if needed. We are looking for speed in our equation. That's what we're looking for. All right. Number 2 asks, what is a story problem looking for? Well, the story problem is looking for speed. Here we have speed we're looking for. Our equation is speed equals. We're set. We do not have to rearrange this problem in any way, shape, or form. It's already arranged for us. So we can move on to the last step. The last step is plug and chug. Solve the equation. S equals our distance, which we go off to step 1 is what we have, 10 meters, over our time being 5 seconds. We do a little bit of math. 10 divided 5 is 2. So our speed equals 2 meters per second.